Hi everyone, I'm Neha Bhutcher, CEO of Atom11, retail aware advertising software for Amazon ads. Welcome to yet another episode of AdVantage with Atom11. This is where we talk about all things Amazon. Today's episode is super close to my heart because our guest today actually has a very similar philosophy as us at Atom11, and that is break the silos. I'm not going to give away too much. I'm going to let him come in and talk a lot about it. So just bear with me for one more moment before I can tell you what is up with Atom11. So there are two updates from Atom11 this week. Update number one is that I'm going to be at the Prosper Show 2024 from March 4th to March 6th. I'm going to be speaking on March 6th. My topic is how you can increase your sales by incorporating retail signals in Amazon advertising. So this is something which is super fresh, super new concept that I believe that everyone is going to benefit from. So do catch me on 6th of March at the Prosper Show. Update number two from Atom11 is that we have just strengthened how Amazon Analytics is viewed on the Atom11 dashboard. You can now connect Atom11 Analytics, which is all your analytics, including retail, inventory, your advertising, all of that with your Power BI or Looker dashboards. So with that, now your analytics become super customized and personalized to you and how you want to view it. I think that's going to be a game changer. So that's it from us this week in terms of the updates from Atom11. And now, without further ado, let's get our guest on stage. Welcome, Dmytro.
Hey,
Hi,
hi, Neha.
Dmytro. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you? I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much for your invite. I hope we'll share some value today.
Absolutely. I am very much looking forward to all of it. Do you want to just tell a little bit to everyone about your story? So, Dmytro, I would love, I mean, I know about you, but I would love, for people to know what is your story? What led you to start Sales Bites, which is your agency? You also own a brand on Amazon. So, just tell us a little bit about both of these and what led you to start the agency.
Yeah, sure. So it kind of went through the years, so I'll try to make it short. But I started back in 2017 as a seller. I was just researching for opportunities to make money online, and I accidentally learned about Amazon FBA. So I did some research online, what was available, and it was totally different back in the day. So yeah, I quickly purchased the product on Alibaba, shipped to the US, and long story short, like as I said, I didn't do a lot of research, and I just basically sourced the product from China, put my logo on it, and it was selling for some time. But over the time, there was a lot of competition, and again, I didn't differentiate the product enough and all the other important steps. So it just stagnated through the time. But because of it, I started working with Amazon PPC because I was doing for my own product. I joined a whole bunch of like Facebook groups for Amazon sellers, and I was talking to other sellers. And that's when I kind of started helping other sellers with PPC, since I had some experience with my product and it wasn't taking off. So I was taking some accounts. I was also working with some agencies. And that's when I met my business partner in 2019, also just on Facebook. He came to me
Wow.
only like for PPC services. He had only one product. And yeah, we've been working with him for a while and kind of build a relationship. So then we decided to like together scale the brand. And I was responsible not just for the PPC, but for the marketing, some other aspects. So we scaled this brand. We invested a lot in it. We invested a lot into the education. So going to the agency, yeah, like about 2 years ago, I had some clients on the side, plus I was doing the brand with my business partner. And we decided that, now since we scaled our brand, we have this real experience, plus my experience of service providing for some years. So we kind of decided to, also do the agency part. And it's
Wow.
kind of like an ecosystem. We have our brand, we have other brands, so we get experience from both ways.
Absolutely. And I think I'll tell you what I love about the story, right? Accidental entrepreneurs are my favorite type of entrepreneurs because, there is so much that goes on in this journey. If you really plan every single step, it just becomes impossible. So, when you kind of find your passion along the way, that is when I believe, magic happens. So, so really love, how you kind of stumbled on the Amazon business and then learned so much or self-learned so much that you are now able to actually, give value to other brands as well, right? So, Dmytro, my next question is basically like you said, right? You own a brand on Amazon. Um, I'm sure that again, something that you already mentioned, you already learned so much by running your own brand that now you are able to pass on those learnings from your brand to the brands that you service as an agency. And I'm sure it's vice versa. So, what are these learnings that you are able to apply from one place to another and vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the longer you do it, like the more you learn the pullers you need to pull on Amazon to be successful. So it's from PPC to SEO to other optimizations with images. And it's just really like doing this business for a few years. So you start seeing patterns of your products. Like, I mean, when are your seasons? When are your good seasons? When are your bad seasons? And then having this data, like applying different like marketing strategies to it, also working with your stock. Because like for years we've been just learning. We may have done good with PPC and creatives, but then we had issues with our stock, and then we had to account this, build like better systems. So once we kind of figured everything out, again, how to spot opportunities, like how to pull down our listings and find where there's more opportunity, how are we doing compared to our top competitors, what are they doing, and I think also learning about your customers, so you can better deliver like your messaging, also
Yeah.
with the images, with the copy. That's something, we didn't like even think about during the first years, that actually there are like these people, these avatars that we call them, customer avatars, who buy our product, and these people have specific needs, interests, and actually if we learn about them, we can better communicate to them and increase the conversions of our product. And
Yeah.
that's like something we learned just a few years
Yeah.
ago, and been doing more.
Absolutely. I think we were in conversation with Fitosh Fatin in one of our past podcasts, and she mentioned a very similar thing as to how you could just change your creatives and see so much impact. I think up to 300 or 400% impact on conversions. But I'm very interested in something that you mentioned just before, just in the beginning of your response, which is how to leverage PPC and SEO. So I think that's what you mentioned, like PPC and SEO. Um, in a lot of what you already said, you are trying to bring in multiple parameters of Amazon together so that you can actually increase sales, which is, I think, something that not a lot of people do. People try to manage things in silos. And that's what I said in the beginning, right? That's what I love about you and pretty much like, I think, the full service agency model, which is there's so many different things that you need to play with, that's how you actually increase your sales. But tell me about about this PPC SEO, and how you are playing both of these things together so that people can actually increase their sales.
Yeah, that's a great question. And PPC, SEO, they work together. They are a little bit different tools. So basically, with SEO, it's also been something we've been paying more and more attention to. Before it was mainly PPC, now SEO. We are constantly refining our listings, our titles when it's necessary. And often when I would do a product analysis, I would use a software to determine how well a certain product is ranking for the keywords. And if I see it's not doing a great job ranking for certain keywords, and almost always the title is not good enough, like maybe the title is short, it was just created once when the listing was created and nobody ever updated it, and there were a whole bunch of new keywords that appeared through the years, and you might be targeting those keywords in PPC, but you don't have them in your title, in your bullets, or maybe it's not enough of them. So it won't be as effective. You won't be able to organically rank on those keywords, because that's the whole thing. If you want to really rank on the keyword, you need to push it with PPC, and you need to like put an accent on this specific keyword, on these roots in your listings, you know. And again, in terms of SEO, something we've been doing is adjusting it to seasons. So a lot of products, they have popular holidays around them. So, I mean, Christmas,
Wow.
you know, Thanksgiving, Halloween, whatever, like you need to know your product. And there might be a few holidays or a lot. Like with our brand, we have more than a dozen holidays all around the year that our product is popular for. So we don't just wait like for this natural spike in sales. We ahead of time, we update our listings with the new copy, including those holiday keywords. And actually, sometimes even for our important holidays, we keep the holiday keywords all year around, like even for Christmas, you know, it's only once a year, but we keep it like in our descriptions or in what's it called, alt text that is not visible. Yeah. So it stays all year round. It has low search volume all year round, but by keeping it in our listings, when the search volume starts spiking, when the season comes, we have the benefit. We will have better ranks, you know, and also pushing it with PPC, and then again following all these holidays, constantly updating your listings with this kind of stuff. So yeah.
So that's amazing. I think if I were to just kind of list down the 2-3 things that I learned, right? One was that your listing is not set it and forget it. It's something that you continue to change throughout the year basis seasonality or just the macro trends that you are seeing outside, you know, externally. Number 2 is that using alt text, basically ensuring that, you know, even though there are some things that you can't put all the keywords in your title, right? So just using alt text as this, and I'm assuming alt text is basically text behind images. Is that what alt text is?
It's not visible, so, but it's like SEO, like it will count. The words you put there will count for SEO, just not as much. So this is a good place to put some additional keywords that may be not your most strategic ones, but you still want to include them, like Spanish words or misspellings, or again, holidays you want to keep all year round. And yeah, actually, another tip I want to give, so just constantly monitor your keywords, like for your products and their search volume, because the search volume for certain keywords also might be changing during the year. So you might want to swap some keywords in your titles in places. So like a few months ago, there was some weird change in Amazon's algorithm or something, like when the search terms started to behave different, like the Amazon changed the way the search terms appear or something. So like for our product, we had one keyword that used to be our number one keyword with the highest search volume for years. So we always had it in our title. We always pushed it with PPC. But a few months ago, when there was this update, some of our search terms that didn't have a lot of search volume, all of a sudden they went up. So now we have a search volume with the highest search volume that was maybe number 20 before. And we were able to spot it like a few months ago when there was something about Amazon's algorithm changed. So we switched our titles everywhere from our previous keyword that used to be our most important keyword to this new one. So this way we ensured we got this, we got the traffic. Because if we wouldn't replace it, probably we wouldn't effectively rank on this new keyword. So monitoring keywords.
I think so. This is my question. It's a great points. I think if I were to just again repeat it, don't set it and forget it. Keep or monitor your keywords and keyword search volume so that you know exactly which keywords to add to your titles when. And make it more seasonal. For example, if there's Christmas, make sure your Christmas keywords are there. So on and so forth. And I think, like you mentioned, that use alt text. I have a question. So there is just so much going on: changes in search volumes, changing in seasonality. Then something just the algorithm changed. How are you keeping track of all of these things? Because it's so hard. Like, for example, at Atom11, we found that our customers were not able to keep track as to which ASIN should they be focusing on. So what we did was we just launched a very quick alert system, right? That, hey, these are the ASINs on which your sales dropped yesterday, and these are the ASINs for which your sales increased. So with this, we know that now they don't have to track it manually. How are you tracking these things so that you don't miss out on any of these signals?
Yeah, we kind of have similar approach, because as sellers and service providers, we also use different tools. So usually those tools will have also certain alerts, like inventory tools if we're going low in stock, or like business analytic tools. They will let us know if we're losing the buy box or something like that. So yeah, using that, having SOPs. So like we know that, again, we have a dozen or more holidays a year. So we have it written down. We have this calendar, and like 2 weeks before the holiday, we need to go and update the listings, and we need to go and create PPC campaigns. So we have this written down, and we have a notification set up to send this to everyone who needs this. So yeah, things like that, I guess. Yeah, softwares with notifications.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can't think of any other way that you can operationalize all of these things. Especially because you are looking at so many things, right? Like it's PPC, SEO. Tell me, what is the impact of doing PPC plus SEO together? How does it impact spends, sales, conversions? What happens?
Yeah, so like I said, it's just going to help you rank better on the keywords, because all the keywords, they have organic rank, and you want to get higher on that organic rank, preferably to the first spot on the page. But to get there, you need to get a lot of sales on every keyword. You need to have a good history and a good conversion rate. So just to have some advantage, some possibility of ranking on this keyword, you need to have your PPC figured out and SEO figured out. That's still not enough, because like the conversion rate also factors your images and other stuff. But if you have PPC and SEO figured out, you're gonna be far ahead of the sellers who like have only PPC figured out or only SEO figured out. It's too
Absolutely.
powerful. Yeah, they are separate, but together it's powerful.
Even more powerful. Absolutely. Yeah. I think just a follow-up question on that. So if I understand correctly, you first attack a keyword with PPC and then slowly start with SEO, because SEO, I'm assuming, is also something that takes time to build in. So PPC kind of gets you in there faster, and then comes SEO organically. Is that how that works?
Well, I mean, usually we aim since day one. When we launch a product, we already have a well-written listing. I mean, a lot of people don't. That's why I say we see still like short titles. A seller just created it on his own, or he used some software. But ideally, we need a professional who knows how Amazon works to craft us this listing with all the important keywords, and we will have it from day one. So even before launching our product, we already just by common sense understand what keywords are our main ones. So we go for them. We understand this before launching the product. And then, yeah, we attack it with PPC, we already have a good listing, but then we keep updating this listing over time with all the things I mentioned. And maybe we will see that certain keywords with our PPC work better than other keywords. So maybe we will also want to do some testing with our listings, switching places those keywords,
Got it. Obviously, the strategy is not easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. What do you think are the challenges in operationalizing this strategy that you talked about? Just from the get go, always have your listings optimized, pair it up with PPC, and then, just be on the go as to how you are able to rank it. I actually have two questions here. One is what are the challenges in implementing this strategy? How do you navigate those challenges? And number three, once the keyword is on top, do you pause PPC or not?
Yeah. So to the first question, sorry, what was the first question?
The first question was, what are the challenges in implementing this strategy?
Okay.
How do you navigate it?
So like I said, having SOPs, knowing how to do this, how to change these keywords, and how each because title, bullets, and description, they all have this different in terms of how the keywords get ranked, because the title is the most important, bullets then the second, and description gets less indexed. So understanding this, again, having these processes written down, and it's easy to talk in theory, but when we've done this with multiple products, with working constantly with SEO, with PPC, we see this with the numbers, because we are able to, take any date we want, see what sales, what metrics we had before we applied the changes and after, and we do the tests. So if we are changing the listing, we want to actually test it. So we might be not doing a lot of other experiments. If we're changing our title, we will change it and keep it for a week or two to see how it impacts all the metrics, our sales. So just having this experience is the challenge, but we did it with many products, and we're not afraid. I think a lot of people are just afraid to change things on Amazon, especially change the title,
Yeah.
Some people are afraid it's going to delete
I
their
would
product.
be afraid. I would be afraid because you don't want to let go of what you already have. So I definitely think so. I think maybe the message is just making those just staying on top of your data and making those bold decisions when it comes to it.
Yeah, understanding why you are making the change and when to make it and how exactly is it going to impact you. And I think Amazon is all about the numbers, so you shouldn't be making any actions or decisions blindly in terms of
Yeah.
SEO and PPC. So I hope it covers that. And for your second question, if we rank organically number one, do we pause the PPC? Well, it depends. It's called keyword cannibalization. So we usually test it in some maybe very competitive niches. We will keep even if we're organic number one, or we might want to promote another product of this brand. So let's say if we push this product to number one organic, maybe we will slow down on the PPC for this product, but then we have another product from this brand that might be a complementary or just a similar product, and we might want to try to test and push this one. So it really depends. We might want to pause it and not. It depends how profitable the account is, because if the account is profitable, we can allow ourselves to be more aggressive and not to pause in such cases. If account aims for profit, then we will be more likely to pause in such scenarios. But it can get kind of maybe hard to do this, because keyword ranks, they also they change. They can change, I think, hourly. So even if you take number one spot, there is no guarantee you will keep it even for a few days. So it depends.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think at Atom11 we are actually just testing this out, wherein you can just increase or decrease your bid. So we will scrape for your most important keywords. We will scrape every hour, and then
Mhm.
you can just create a simple rule saying, hey, if my organic rank is less than X, then automatically decrease my bid for this specific keyword and increase it if my organic rank drops.
Mhm.
So those kind of automations are something that, so we believe that, just exactly like you said, right, we believe that this is a challenge where people don't want to reduce their bids just because they don't know whether in the next hour they are going to retain their position or not. So fair enough, I think. Cool. I want to move, I think, just learned so much from you in terms of don't set it and forget it, and just always look at data and don't be afraid of taking bold decisions. I am pretty sure that you are like you said, right? We have SOPs written down. I am super interested in knowing how is your agency differentiating from others, because I've already learned so much about the kind of things you do and how you do it. I think it will be great if people can actually hear it in as many words as to what differentiates you from others.
Yeah, so I think the number one thing is that we are real sellers, and we are in Brendan Young's seller systems community, and
Okay.
he's a real seller. He has an 8-figure business, and he also teaches other people how to do this, and that's kind of his thing. He always says, "Because I'm a real seller, I have an 8-figure business that's probably bigger than his education business, you know." But he has the experience to teach. So same with us. We have the experience of real sellers. We scaled our account to 7 figures a year. So, and again, we didn't just touch the PPC. We also touched SEO, creative design, logistics, um, and constantly learning. So again, like I said, with the Brandon's community, we are part of multiple private communities for Amazon, for PPC, and constantly learning, talking to other big sellers, talking to their teams. So we have a few like seller friends, and we would have calls with their teams, and we would just exchange kind of processes, ideas, tips. So I think this gives us a big benefit, again, that we are real sellers and in this community, and learning all the time, and testing with our own brand, not
Fair
not
enough.
on our clients' accounts
That's
first.
awesome. So let me repeat: learning, always learning, not afraid of taking decisions, bold decisions, especially because you are testing out all of these learnings on your own brand, so you always have that confidence. Never setting it and forgetting it, always having those SOPs ready, so that you are able to take actions ahead of time. And the last, and I think the most important and very, very close to my heart, is breaking silos, right? Just not relying on PPC for increasing sales, really bringing all of the important components of sales together and then applying them when required and where required. I love it.
Yeah.
I think before we move on to our last section, which is going to be a super fun one, any message that you have for sellers out there?
Yeah, I I think try to learn more about your customers, especially for Amazon brands. Yeah, learn more about your customers and speak their
There.
language with your content. Yeah.
Love it, love it. I think there are so many tools now to do that. If you don't even take other tools, brand analytics itself takes you or tells you so much about your customer. The other day we were looking at, for one of our clients, we were helping them out. They wanted to know what is the customer journey of a specific product, right? And we just simply went to brand analytics and figured out for similar products what are customers searching, and we were able to figure out the differences between their product number one and product number two as to what is the journey, and just help them design a PPC journey basis that. So I think you're very right. Now free tools are available on Amazon, and customer journey is so easy to map with those. Absolutely an important one.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the numbers, that's would be another advice, just being good with the numbers on Amazon, understanding how one thing impacts another. And if
Yeah.
you're not good at it, you need to hire someone. Good
Absolutely. Hire Dmytro. Awesome. All right, let's move on to a super fun section, Dmytro. Are you ready for this? This is our rapid fire section.
Yeah, let's go.
And you have to be very, very rapid, and you have to have a lot of fire. So you will not get more than 5 seconds to answer each question. Fair?
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go with it. So if Jeff Bezos had not started Amazon, what would you be doing?
I think maybe YouTuber.
Fair enough. What would you prefer, pizza or pasta?
Pizza, if it's vegetarian.
Oh, okay. Why doesn't anyone like non-vegetarian pizza? Well, at least for the people I know. I know pepperoni is one of the most loved ones, but all the people I know, they always prefer vegetarian pizza. So thank you
Yeah,
for joining the club.
but I'm just vegetarian, so that's why.
Oh, great. Okay. What would you rather have, a day without PPC or a day without food?
I guess a day without the food, because actually fasting is pretty good for you.
Oh God, health. Good
Yeah.
job. If Amazon team comes and says they will grant you one feature, what feature would you ask for?
Well, I mean, I probably have two if I can. So one, I would ask to add the conversion rate metric to Ad Console, like it's in the bulk files. And I would just ask to use all the resources to build like a custom unique dashboard for all of our business needs on Amazon.
What am I going to do if Amazon does that?
Yeah,
But by the way, we have
sure
it. We
they
should
won't.
definitely talk.
Yeah.
We should talk about it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite sales hack on Amazon?
I think testing main image, making multiple variations of your main image. So you try to stand out from the competition, and then testing it and leaving the best performing one, and most likely is going to add you a good portion of sales just by the main image, by making a
Wow.
better one.
Awesome. What is this one secret Amazon strategy that you don't want anyone to know? Now you have to let it know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just not a secret, but like the ability, like to see the issues. Like I said, one person, they will look at the listing and they will think it's a normal listing, but when my team looks at the listing, we can see where the problems, the titles, the images, or the PPC. So just having this vision, I mean, that's not a secret, but that's not something available to a lot of people if they didn't have this experience, you know.
Absolutely. And I think you just gave away your secret without giving away your secret, which is experience, right? Like just spotting or the ability to spot issues.
Yeah.
What would you prefer? Focus just on Amazon or diversify your sales?
I mean, it really depends on you, but we actually chose at the moment to focus on Amazon. We wanted to diversify, but at the moment we just going full on Amazon. Yeah.
Fair enough. 5 people you follow for Amazon tips, and my name is mandatory. Kidding.
Yeah. Well, number one is probably Brandon Young, who I mentioned before. We are in his community, and I mean, I consider him to be my mentor. So I learned a lot of things from him, how he handled his brands. Then, I think Destiny Wishon from Better AMS, they just actually renamed the company or something.
Better.
So for PPC, she's pretty good on LinkedIn, and they have a lot of videos on YouTube. The third, I'd say Sean Smith. So he's my kind of PPC mentor. I'm in his private community for Amazon PPC. He had a course a while ago. Some things might be outdated, but we still use a lot of things I learned from him in our today's current systems with PPC. So you can find him on YouTube, Sean Smith, or LinkedIn, Facebook. Yeah, and I mean, I have really a few more people in mind, but it's just hard to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say Neha.
We can close it. No, I was kidding. Awesome, but great list. And I think if any of you guys are not following Brandon Young, Destiny Vishon, and Sean Smith, you should definitely do. And I think all of their learnings are actually something that are already in Dmytro. So why don't you just follow Dmytro and
Yeah.
learn it directly from him? Lovely, Dmytro. I had just such a great time talking to you. Learning from you. I think if there's just one or two things that I'm taking away from today's meeting, it's that one, never ever set it and forget it. Always ensure that you are on top of your data. Don't be afraid of making changes, and break the silos between your advertising, SEO, content, and just bring them together so that it actually starts impacting your total sales, and you're not just stuck in a silo, and
Yeah.
just operationalizing things. So that's just amazing. Loved every minute of this podcast. I hope that we can bring you back again sometime, but wishing you all the best.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Neha. It was also a pleasure. Thanks for giving me this platform. Yeah, I enjoyed it
Problem at
as
all.
well.
Thank you. All right. So that was it from Dmytro. Thank you so much, Dmytro, for a super packed episode today. We're going to meet you all next week with a new guest and amazingly new learnings. Till then, take care.